going back, we were going to move to Spain, and then some people in this country decided to leave Europe. So the Duolingo really was the beginnings of us starting to learn a language to then come out and live in Spain and speak Spanish and live with Spanish people, not go into an English enclave in Benidorm. That's what we didn't want to do. We wanted to go out into the countryside, into a farm or finca or something like that, and integrate. Duolingo gave no confidence. It was more of a brain training game rather than a tool to learn Spanish.
So one of the things that we do find is that we can read Spanish. I can look at something and I can understand it, but just not how to actually feel confident in putting a sentence together. My friend lives now in Madrid, he's moved to Madrid, and we just really enjoy the language so much and the lifestyle that even though we can't live there, that we wanted to know more about it and to learn more. I think what we will do this time, he normally just takes the lead, and I think we're going to ask him to just let us speak and then only jump in if we need to. So I think we would never have done that before.
All right, Mark and Tracy. So it's been almost 3 months. We still have not finished the first 3 months that you've done with us. First of all, how were you feeling before starting these 3 months with us in terms of confidence?
So we were doing Duolingo for a few years, and we both say that we've learned more in this process than we ever did in all the time doing Duolingo. It's been good that we've learned some nouns and we can and tenses, and we can recognize words from Duolingo, but the actual being able to put a sentence together, the things that you've sent with the joining words for sentences and the verbs, splitting the verbs up into hats and boots has been very very useful. I think for both of us, it's when we're doing a lesson with Sarah, we've had discussions in Spanish, and then you know how your mind just goes blank when it's something you from the screen. When you're sitting thinking to yourself with more time, you can put a sentence together. So it's just that really, you know.
Okay, amazing.
But amazing. We've enjoyed it, and Sarah has been just so supportive, and we really enjoy. She sends us recipes, and does more than the lesson.
Yeah. Okay. And how long have you guys been on Duolingo?
We were on for over 2 years.
2 years. And was that the only thing that you'd done, or something else?
No, that was it.
Well, we'd had a book that said that told you how to look at it was called Stealing Spanish Words, and basically like the words with MENT on the end, and those words had the endings.
They have the equivalents. They're just spelt slightly differently, but mostly mean the same as the English words. And that started us off, to be fair. But going back, we were going to move to Spain, and then some people in this country decided to leave Europe, and it's just caused us, like, we've had to change those plans, but we still come out to Spain. So the Duolingo really was the beginnings of us starting to learn a language to then to come out and live in Spain and speak Spanish and live with Spanish people, not go into an English enclave in Benidorm where you go and eat fish and chips and bacon and eggs. That's what we didn't want to do. We wanted to go out into the countryside, into a farm or finca or something like that, and integrate. So we were starting that, and then we stopped, and we just basically continued on with the Duolingo and didn't push it any further. That's what we did.
But we've enjoyed it so much, and we do go 2 or 3 times a year. And because my friend lives now in Madrid, he's moved to Madrid, and we just really enjoy the language so much and the lifestyle that even though we can't live there, that we wanted to know more about it and to learn more.
Yeah. 2 years in with Duolingo, on a scale from 1 to 10, how confident you feel?
It didn't give you any confidence. Duolingo gave no confidence. It was more of a brain training game, if you like, rather than an educational, rather than a tool to learn Spanish. So there's lots of words I still know that when I see them in the lessons, I go, I know what that means, but I never knew how to slot them into a conversation or conjugate its verb or put it into a tense at all. Now, I'm not saying that I know all that yet, but I know that I'm at the beginnings of being able to do that. And I know that I can just say things out loud now to Spanish people, and they might look at me funny with my accent, but I think I'll be able to make myself known, even if there's nobody who speaks English wherever we go.
Yeah, and communicate, which is what we want at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just if you have to throw a number on a scale from 1 to 10, Duolingo, how confident did that make you feel?
2.
Yeah, 2.2.
2.2, okay.
Yeah, slightly more than 2, possibly, but no, it didn't, and it didn't fulfill what it says it will do. So it possibly would be okay as an adjunct to other forms, maybe, just as a, if you got a 15-minute, 10-minute coffee break, possibly, but not as a standalone tool at all.
Not as a foundation of
absolutely not. No.
And we haven't looked at it since we've been doing this.
Well, we cancelled it straight away.
Cancelled it because we just realised that this was a better way to do it.
Okay. And what was your biggest difficulty before we met? What was the biggest difficulty with Spanish?
So one of the things that we do find is that we can read Spanish. I can look at something and I can understand it, and it's, even though I know individual words, it was putting together a sentence. So I could ask for, when we went away, I could ask for a coffee and some croissants to take away, and things like that. And we knew about forks and knives and spoons, and I say nouns, but just not how to actually feel confident in putting a sentence together.
Yeah,
a conversational sentence.
I'd say the same. The confidence wasn't there, because almost like as soon as you try to say something, someone looks at you, just go, I've given up. And then,
but people taught you try in Spanish and then they'll speak English to you. And it's like when I'm with my friend who lives there, I mean, he's fluent, and he'll talk to them and they'll talk to him in Spanish. But when you try, and really, I'd like to say, look, just bear with me.
I think in some respects that's expected, because some of the people we interact with are in retail or in delivering food, cuisine, and they just want the order, get the job done, give you your food, get the money, and see you later. So if they've got a bumbling fool trying to express themselves in Spanish when they can speak Spanish, English, German, Dutch, and they just go, yeah, shut up, tell me what do you want to eat? So we hopefully, but that's the touristy bits. But hopefully we'll be able to push a bit further away now.
So one of the things that was really good was Mark was at work and had a patient on the phone, and nobody could really understand, and he managed to explain to them, because they were Spanish, and they managed to have a conversation about an illness, and he managed to help them. So that was amazing. Really.
What was that?
I pulled up a list of equivalent of translations for common terms in medicine, such as pain and location and dolor, etc. But then was able to talk to them and break that barrier, just to point them in the right direction, because they had tried to access the health service, but because of the language barrier, they were escalated to an ambulance coming to their house. They didn't want that or need that, but because there was a gap in information, the ambulance was going to go. So I was able to break that communication deadlock and point them in the right direction of where they needed to go, because they didn't know where to go in England, how to get help, and the service they asked for was too high. They didn't need an ambulance, they needed a doctor, a clinic. So it was good, and they thanked me for the effort. So I'm not saying that I'm fluent, but between us, we got the information across, understood what was wrong, understood what they needed. So so it was good.
Do you think you would have been able to do that, I don't know, 6 months ago?
No, and I wouldn't. So maybe I would have done, but I would not have had the confidence to do it, and nor would I probably had the ear to sort of catch what people were saying. So like Tracy just said, if I see an article in Spanish, as long as the language isn't too technical, I can understand or the gist of the conversation or the narrative. Or if I see it on TV with subtitles, I can pretty much get what's going on with the pictures as well.
Oh yeah, we do that. Yeah, we don't listen to we don't look at the subtitles, but we listen to the Spanish on the program, and we try and understand what they're trying to say.
Okay, amazing.
So it's great if you're going to get shot or murdered, or be in a drug cartel. We know all the words now.
And the songs as well, because we've done 4 songs, because I know the songs got changed, but we'd already learned, I think it was Me Voy. So although we don't know every single bit of each song, I can certainly have all the words at the right time and the right pronunciation, and understand what they mean for 4 songs now. So that's been really helpful.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's perfect. And okay, what about the actual lessons? How do you remember how you felt in your very first lesson?
Yes, really, really nervous and a bit stupid.
Okay. And what about the rest of the lessons? How have you felt throughout the whole?
It's like running a race. When you're sprinting and you're running as fast as you can, but you're still out of breath. But as you go on, you're running faster and further, but you're still out of breath. So I'm not worried too much that I feel a bit stupid still, but I know that if I was to look back, I know more than I did. That's the way I see it. But yeah, because we do push ourselves still. So yes, and I think Sarah also conversationally drags us through, and so we're not just going.
We don't feel stupid in front of Sarah now, because she's so easy to talk to, and when she's asking us things, she'll involve herself in the conversation about what she does, what she eats, and say she sent us some recipes that she likes and things, because I do a lot of cooking.
I mean the level is set. The level's correct for us, but that's obviously what a tutor can do. You can set the level at the audience, but I still feel there's stupid, but I feel I've been pushed more, and that wouldn't have happened without the tutorage. So does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, do you have any upcoming trip? soon?
Yes.
Madrid. Yeah, we're
Oh,
going
Madrid
to
in December, that's
Madrid.
it.
Yeah, for our anniversary. And in fact, Sarah's going the week after because she was going with her mum the week after. But we're going to see all the stay at our friend's apartment and see all the Christmas lights and just
Try the food.
try some other food. And is it porras? Like
Porras.
like
Oh, like
churros,
churros.
but slightly different. Going to try
They're
porras.
very similar.
Sí,
They're very
sí,
similar.
with
Yeah.
hot chocolate.
Okay. And how confident do you? I mean, we made the question on a scale from 1 to 10. You said
Yeah.
2.2 out of 10.
Duolingo,
about now?
Oh, probably about 7.
I'd say 7,
About
and
7.
that's not. I don't think that's harsh. As in, it's 7, but difficult to say really. So I would a bit more complex. So not quite as simple. Like, can I have something? It'll be more words, more thoughts used. So 7 is more a reflection on us, I think, than the actual process.
Oh yeah.
So I think we can push further and probably remain at 7 for another 20 years.
And our friend will be with us, and say he lives there and speaks fluent Spanish. But I think what we will do this time, he normally just takes the lead, and I think we're going to ask him to just let us speak and then only jump in if we need to. So I think we would never have done that before. We would always just let him speak, and I think that we're going to try this.
And he also doesn't know we've done this.
No, it was a surprise for him. So that we can actually just say some things and surprise him.
Okay. So you now feel confident enough to go there and step up and
Massively more.
Not
Not
worried about making a fool out of myself either. So yeah, it's a process and it's a journey, isn't it? And we will be better than we were. And now I think the block of that I'm not going to bother or try is much reduced. I'm not saying it's gone, but much reduced.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, and at the beginning you mentioned that the first lessons you felt a bit stupid and maybe like just very nervous. And do you remember how you felt before starting? Like maybe afraid of making mistakes, afraid of trying something new, thinking you're too old, these kind of thoughts?
Oh, definitely. I definitely felt that I was too old. But I do think that learning a language is good for your brain. I mean, I know this sounds daft, but my mum had dementia, my mother, and it's obviously always a worry, and it's like keeping your brain going. And I think that has been a good focus of every single day. Going back, like we've done this morning, the word walls, we've gone back into the links that Sarah has sent, and we've gone right back through all the word walls and the verbs, and just, and it's really good that every single day that you learn a little bit more, and it strengthens it.
Yeah. Just how old are you guys?
I'm 64.
I'm 57, nearly 58.
Okay.
Nearly.
Okay.
Not quite.
What would you say to someone who feels like, oh, I'm too old to learn Spanish?
No, I would say go for it. I've really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it, and really feel that it's switching my brain on.
I think back in the day, the language teaching in English schools was very poor. So that a lot of people in our age group will have had bad experience in schools. I mean, you probably know that most English people don't have a second language. I know part of that is because English is spoken everywhere, but also the actual education system going back in the day was very, very, well, it wasn't centered at people learning. It was thrown at you, and if you had any lack of skill, it wasn't pushed further. So I think that probably be a root problem with most people of our age group, is that back in the day, Spanish wasn't actually taught very much.
No,
French and German were primary, but if you didn't pick those up, that was it. I mean, I was taught Latin in my first year, and then they dropped that in the second year, but that's because I went to a grammar school. However, languages really aren't pushed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the people aren't pushed in the languages, sorry, not the languages. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, anything else you want to mention about your process, how you felt with it?
No, it's just been a very, very positive experience. It's just been absolutely, probably more than we've learned, more than we thought we would. It's just the fact that it's a relaxing process, the fact it's immersive, but the process has just been brilliant.
I'd say it's given a foundation, and to carry on with what we've got now. We sort of know. We don't know everything. We know very little, but that's what education is, isn't it? You learn what you sort of understand a little, and then realize how much you don't know. But
yeah,
we've got the basics to carry on. And that's what I feel. It's given us that tool.
Okay, guys, brilliant. Thanks a lot for all the answers and for this chat.